Hey, deserving listeners, it's time to continue our journey with Darcy and Stacey. Let's get to the show.
Why is it so poofy? Because that's what...
Oh my God. Looks like a dead body in there.
Oh. On the last trip that I took to Albania, me and Florian's sister went wedding dress shopping. The reason why I didn't tell Darcy is because I knew she wouldn't like it. Because it's not her style or her taste. And I didn't need to hear about it. It's my wedding dress. And I'm the one that has to wear it.
This is it. Whoa. It was like a wave. Oh.
So normally I would predict that the twin sister would be like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. You know, the typical things you say when you're supporting your friend or sibling as they're getting married and doing all the various different ceremonies like getting the dress. Normally you're just like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. I can't believe it's so unique. It's totally you. You know, you say all the things. I predict Darcy is not going to say those things because for whatever reason, I'm guessing it came from when they were children because they weren't given enough love and attention. And so they had to compete with each other for their parents, maybe particularly their dad's love and attention. They have a policy, particularly Darcy has a policy of, I am jealous of my sister and I want to bring her down. And if she is having anything good happen to her, which means she's getting more than me, then I have to bring her down. As adults, it doesn't make any sense. But when you're kids, it kind of makes some logical sense. So let me give a scenario. So they told us that dad wasn't around a lot. So maybe they're occasionally trying to fight for dad's love and attention. And maybe dad, because of the divorce when they were 12, like he's sort of in and out of the house. Dad comes and visits. And the girls are trying to get his attention. And Stacey starts to get his attention because she starts to do cartwheels or something. And Darcy can't do cartwheels. Stacey can do cartwheels. Dad's giving attention like, oh, those are pretty good cartwheels. And Darcy now is like, Dad never gives me attention and love. I'm not getting enough love and attention from anyone. And he's now giving that little bit of love and attention that I want so much to her for such a stupid thing, cartwheels. That's so dumb. So, I'm going to push my sister aside. Look at me, Dad. I can do jumping jacks, that kind of thing. So when kids are little, we can understand it. It makes some sense given the circumstances that they're under. Well, when those behaviors become locked in place, we call those schemas that we grow up with, and they dictate the way we feel and see the world and thus behave. And so I think Darcy particularly has this policy and this reactivity. We might even call it a trauma that Darcy has been through, where if Stacey is getting good things, if she's moving forward in her life, if she looks like she's, one-upping her sister, then I have to attack it. First I'm going to be hurt and I'm going to feel neglected and I'm going to be afraid of I'm being left alone. And then I'm going to be angry and I'm going to target my sister and bring her down. So let's continue watching.
It's so sparkly. It's exactly what I wanted.
Okay, check it out. Let me see how poofy this really is.
Okay.
But
Don't get makeup on it.
Stacey, you're the one getting tanner on it. Please.
It's very couture, I could tell,
Yes,
but it's a couture dress, so.
Okay, I understand. If you want my opinion,
It's the Stacey dress.
okay. It's a pretty Stacey's dress, but it's not really appropriate for the kind of wedding that I would think that you have here.
Wow. I mean, I knew it was coming in some way, shape, or form, but I guess I didn't know in what way. So there you go. Let's rewind and watch that.
But it's a couture dress, so.
Okay, I understand. If you want my opinion,
It's the Stacey dress.
okay. It's a pretty Stacey's dress, but it's not really appropriate for the kind of wedding that I would think that you have here.
Well, I don't think it really matters. It's a beautiful wedding dress, and I want to have beautiful photos and feel like a princess on that day, and that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
And I think he wants to see me in a big ball gown type dress because in Albania, they do that. They wear
in Albania.
It's always so unfortunate to me. It's such a tragedy that the two of them, according to, I think, Darcy, said that Dad wasn't around much. The two of them were neglected and harmed growing up in some way. And to move around from school to school to school can also be very, very hard on kids. So they both went through a lot growing up. And they both experienced it side by side, literally. And because of that tragedy, they also, particularly Darcy, has a thing against the other because of the little bit of love and attention that was coming their way. Half of it was going to her sister. And so she ended up resenting her sister for taking half of the tiny little bit of love and attention and stability and affection and praise that were coming both of their way. And so not only was Darcy treated badly from the world, but now they don't have each other to depend on because of this tension. It's one of the tragedies of childhood mistreatment is when you're mistreated, it's bad, obviously, but it causes all these other problems in adult life as well after the mistreatment is over. This is really unfortunate. I would feel so much better if I could say, well, at least they always had each other, and at least they have each other. They support each other, they love each other, they have each other's back. But whenever things like this happen, it's so quick for tension and anger and criticism. And I think it's particularly a Darcy issue. And it makes me wonder if Stacey got a little bit more love and attention. Maybe because Stacey tried to become the more mature one or the more pleasing one, or I don't know. It's hard to know. But it just makes me really sad for the two of them.
I didn't really envision Stacey wearing that for a Connecticut wedding or a beach wedding or whatever kind of wedding she was thinking of having. It's just over the top and very poofy, and with us being really well endowed and short and a little stumpy, she goes, "Oh, wait, Miss Piggy."
All right, that's the Stacey dress. Okay, yep. Whatever.
Wow. Again, I knew it was coming. Or I didn't know. I suspected it was coming, but I didn't expect it to be that bad. I mean, it's your sister's wedding dress. Everybody knows. I'm a dude, and I know that you just say, wow, what an amazing dress. And you just think, it's beautiful. Look at all this and that. You don't criticize it. And you don't say it's completely the wrong dress and okay, fine, I guess it's your dress. Okay, whatever. It's not what I would have got, but okay, whatever. Like, why would you do that about anybody's clothes, let alone their wedding dress? It just points to trauma and mistreatment and lack of love and attention that she got growing up. And it just makes me so sad for both of them. I feel really bad for Stacey. She's just like, hey, look at my wedding dress. And it's all criticism and all negative.
It was fitted perfectly to my body. Got a pack.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I had a nice wedding dress the first time, but it wasn't this poofy. Well, I just don't know how.
So this is interesting. We're starting to see more of Stacey now. Stacey is blank. She doesn't seem upset. She doesn't seem hurt. I'm quite sure she's hurt by this, but she doesn't seem to be fazed by it. Florian freaks out. I'm not fazed. She is the unfazed person, the person who's just like, well, that's fine. Let's move on. Everything's okay. She takes things on herself. I wonder if she was the parentified one in the family. The brother was also parentified. He was older, and I think he had to take care of the twins. And maybe Stacey also was parentified, even above Darcy. And maybe that's why, this is total speculation, maybe that's why Stacey got more attention, because she did take on the more mature one when they were young. And so maybe that's what's going on. I wonder if Stacey is a powder keg waiting to explode on the inside, because she's not exhibiting any discomfort from it. She's just like, okay, well, let's pack it, even though her sister was just like, I would say, to be like very mean.
This totally is like throwing me off right now, because we should be focused on going to LA and packing. She's so distracted with her wedding and her fiance, and I'm worried that she's focusing more on Florian than things that we need to be doing together. I understand we're sisters, but we're also business partners too.
Come on. We got things to do, people to see. We have meetings set up. It's a lot going on. We got to make sure we have the right stuff to wear. So a little business, a little sexy, a little boho, California, sexy chic, all that good stuff. That aside. And
so again, as I was saying earlier, I'm not seeing in Stacey what she really wants. Clearly, Darcy is like, yes, we're going to do this, da-da-da. I have all this energy. This is what I want to do. And Stacey seems to be at least giving the impression of like, yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, okay. Instead of, yeah, that's what I want too. Or a different reaction might be, okay, Darcy, here's what my goal is. You want to go to LA. You want to get the brand going again. I'm willing to put in this amount of effort. And it sounds like you want to put in a lot more effort than I'm willing to put in. So either you're going to have to leave me behind, which I'm willing to do, or you're just going to have to accept that I'm not as into it as you are. I'm willing to go into it, but I'm not as into it. And that should be okay with you because I'm allowed to have my own preferences at this point in my life. But I wonder if Stacey, because she was elevated, I'm making a lot of assumptions, by the way, but because she was mistreated growing up, I wonder how much Stacey really knows her own feelings and her own rights and her own wants and her own desires. Or I wonder if she's a leaf in the wind like Tom was. Anyway, let's continue watching.
Something came up. Right now, the coronavirus is affecting the U.S. LA is done. It's finished.
But we're only going for like a week or
But
so.
this virus it's dangerous. It's not going to be 1-2 week virus. This is something, look, China's taken, 4 months, and they're still not cured.
This is interesting. I keep wondering when shows are going to start showing the effects of the virus because, a lot of the shows we're watching were filmed way before the virus came out. We saw a little bit of that in the tell-all of Before the 90 Days. They did the tell-all over, video conference. And so this is interesting. So this must be what, like late March or April or something? And, wow. This really kind of hits home for, I think, all of us to remember what it was like when it was like, oh, I guess things are starting to actually shut down now. And the virus is on our shores. It's going all over the world. Other places are starting to shut down. Are we going to shut down? Oh, it'll only be a couple weeks, maybe a month of shutting down. Everything will be okay. And then we'll go back to normal. Well, I guess now, we'll just stay in for a month and everything will be fine. And, hashtag quarantine, that kind of thing. And boy, at least for me, did I not know what this was going to be. Although I will say I listened to podcasts about science, and I remember pretty early on them saying that until we have a vaccine, it's likely that we're going to be looking at life not as we know it until we have a vaccine. And they were talking about how long it takes to get a vaccine. Anyway, so this is interesting. Let's watch this.
I'm not telling you what to do, but I think you definitely have to rethink the timing. I'm not saying the fact of going to LA. I'm talking about the timing of going to LA.
We've heard of the coronavirus, but I don't really know too much about it. I've been not watching the news a lot lately because I've been, focused on just life and trying to start my new chapter as well. And it's scary to think about. Never, ever seen or heard anything like this before.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I guess they're stuck in Connecticut.
It's very scary to hear what our dad's saying right now. I mean, I feel devastated. A worldwide pandemic, possibly. I never imagined in a million years we'd be sitting here thinking that the whole world basically could shut down.
So it's terrible that we're all going through this still, but I'm glad that Darcy can see it right away. I was worried that Darcy was going to go, this is just another reason why you're trying to keep me down. So I'm glad that she is listening with an open mind. This is good.
Our lives will stop. Kids are going to be affected. They're going to be scared. We have to stay strong. Yeah. So we have to just prepare ourselves for the worst.
If you want to start activity for the business now, you can still do that from here. That's not saying you don't start the business. But right now is not the right time to move out.
It's better be safe than sorry, I guess,
it's a risk.
for now.
Right now,
But,
yeah, it's canceled.
LA is canceled.
Done.
It's done.
We agree.
So why don't we just go back and unpack and enjoy? Have dinner later on.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you too.
Love you. Thank you for your wise words. Just want to make you proud.
I just want you to make yourself proud.
Yeah.
All right? I'm
We're in
already
this
proud.
together.
I'm already proud.
Love it. All right, let's go unpack.
All right, well, that does it for that episode of Psychology in Seattle. Thanks for joining me out there. Please take care of yourself and tune in next time because you deserve it. Sometimes I mess that up. Tune in next time and take care of yourself and take care of others because we all deserve it. We really, really do.